Alright, so generally with a freezer you'll find there's three types of insulation used, or two typically. One is your standard 5 1/4 foam in place, where they blow the foam into place in the freezer. The other is the VIP, which is your vacuum insulation panelling. What these freezers use is something a little unique, and it's called a solid block polyurethane insulation. So it's a prefabbed block insulation, so it has a much more consistency than your foam in place style insulation. And also there's no risk, obviously, with the vacuum insulation panel there's a risk over time of the vacuum degrading. You don't get that issue with this type of solid core polyurethane insulation. So that's used all around the outside of the freezer. It is harder to manufacture, that's why you probably don't find it around the place much. It's harder to manufacture with it, but it does provide for a much better insulating ability. That solid core insulation is also used in the internal doors here. So these doors, you'll see there's a little bit of thickness in the doors. That solid core foam is actually inside the doors as well, providing high insulation between the inside of the freezer and the external world. You will notice, obviously, one of the big differences straight away, it's full stainless steel throughout. So the full stainless steel offers obviously high corrosion resistance as one benefit. The other benefit too, particularly for the outside doors, is the frost doesn't stick very well to the stainless steel, which makes it very easy just to brush off any frost that might start building up on these outside doors. These doors themselves, so just with these doors themselves still, they're very easy to clean. The doors themselves can just come off and out, so you can take that away and give it a clean if you so desire. Back in position there. Okay, and then what we've got, so we've got a positive interlock as well. So these are a positive lock for the inner doors. So if you're getting too much ice build up on the seals in here, that's obviously a bad thing of the freezer. So if you can't actually close these doors because of too much ice, if they won't latch in place, it's got a bit of a fail-safe scenario that you won't actually be able to then close the outside door. So it stops people from actually engaging the lock and using it as a lever, which often happens, where people will try and force it closed. So you can't do that with this freezer. You'll have to sort of clear a bit of ice so you can indeed close the door correctly. So just inside here, we'll take all your normal standard racks. Got plenty of depth in the freezer. We'll notice up here as well there's two little pipes up the back.
That's standard?
Yeah, so that comes standard with the freezers, and essentially it's these are the CO2 injection tubes. So there's only a few other little additions that would then need to be made for a CO2 injection system, but the thinking behind this is, rather than putting the CO2 injection or the CO2 backup system as an afterthought, these tubes are actually put in place in the freezer. And so if you ever do have a CO2 backup system, instead of the CO2 getting stuck in one shelf area, there's a little gap down the back of the freezer here, so the CO2 can migrate all the way top to bottom. So even when you're using the CO2 backup system, you get a nice even gradient throughout the chamber.